It was focused on Dani's one hair, her one gray hair that's like this.
It's specific.
It's so funny to like have a conversation with you about this when you know what I do, but I'll just pretend that. Do you want me to look at you?
You look at me.
Okay.
So I'll probably scooch a little bit.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm like looking over here.
So weird.
Cheers. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. I've always loved to write since I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I wrote so many books as a kid. All about like things I liked, like dolphins and issues with siblings or whatever, you know, like just like dumb kids stuff. But yeah, I always loved to write, and I sometimes don't know what to say out loud. And for a lot of my life, I would say I identified as an introvert. Writing was kind of like an outlet. It was a way for me to let all of those thoughts I had come out in a way where no one was going to see it, but I could think. And so even to this day, I'm much more well-spoken through writing. I feel like I can think more clearly when I have a pen in my hand or when I'm typing. Part of it is I actually love to physically write. I love pens and paper. I love it. I love how paper smells and feels. I'm very particular about notebooks and pens that I buy. So there's something about it. I remember my dad was like, what are you going to do with writing? Are you going to write books? Maybe. Probably not. I'm never going to write a book, probably. And so when I graduated from college, my experience was in journalism, and that was the easy next step, but I decided I didn't want to do that, and I went on a totally different path. I lived in Thailand for a time and explored and did a bunch of things. Came home, needed a real job, so then I got a job at the local paper and was there for about 5 years. I love the field of journalism. I love writing. I have such respect for journalists, but I never really felt like I was a reporter. I found more so that I love storytelling and getting to know people. Being able to work in a real job where you can use your imagination, use your creativity, and just think about so many different things every day, from theories of systemic change to actually implementing it. That's what I love about RiverWise, and that's one thing I love about what we get to do all the time, is we get to talk about these ideas in a kind of meta way, but then also we're doing the work to get it done. And doing that through writing and through storytelling is kind of a niche thing that I never thought that would exist, to be able to do that. Anyone that does community work realizes very quickly that it's very difficult because when you deal with people, you deal with the complexities of the human experience. And when we work in the community, it's not that we are working with people that are difficult to work with. I think it's more so that I find flaws in myself and in how I approach community work because it's so hard. Yes, it's difficult to work with any human being, but it's also difficult, I think, for me to navigate where I fit and making sure that I don't overstep or that I can play a role that's actually going to be helpful. And so through this work, I've been able to try out different things. Some working, some not working, some need finessing, some need whatever. But through it, I think I've been able to be more vulnerable with myself and with those that I work with. And I have gotten a lot better at being okay with things not going perfectly and allowing that to actually be a gift, learning from experiences truly, as opposed to feeling like something failed, but more so recognizing everything is a process and we're just trying to navigate how to work together. As long as the effort is there and the integrity is there and the empathy is there and you're working alongside people, you're not doing everything yourself. I love it. I've always connected to it. And what I still love about storytelling is being able to sit in an interview with someone and just have a conversation, learn about them, and then you want to be accurate and representative to the story, to what someone is sharing, but also you're not them and you're not trying to be them. They're not telling their story, you are telling it. But if you do it well, and the hope is that you see something in someone that they might not see in themselves, and through that opportunity, through that conversation, you're choosing the words or the expressions or the sentiments that someone is saying, and you're pairing it in a way that really shows the beauty of that whole conversation. But people don't have time to sit and listen to a 4-hour conversation you might have with somebody. But if you can write a 500-word article and get a similar vibe, kind of difficult to do, but once you get the knack of it, you're saving time, but you're still showing people someone else's experience or desires or their story, who they are. And I do my best to make people feel comfortable. And so even if that's a big smile and saying, hey, how you doing? We brought Orm's Donuts because Orm's Donuts are the best. If you bring food, usually people are like, you're all right. When you kind of get through the barrier of like the BS of like, we're sitting here for an interview and it's so awkward. When you can pass that and just sit and have a cup of coffee or a drink with somebody and allow them to relax, you see more of the person. Like if you humanize the experience, it immediately makes someone feel comfortable. So it takes an effort to kind of chip away at those layers. But once you are able to do that, there's some cool things people have to offer.